All right, hello GDQ staff. My name is Spicy Tacos, and this is my Fallout 3 all bobbleheads, all quests, and all DLC quests submission for AGDQ 2026. I think I got that right. So 100%, it basically means completing all the quests in Fallout 3 and collecting all 20 bobbleheads. There are 20 bobbleheads and there are 58 quests. That is 30 in the base game and 29 in the 5 DLCs that are in this game. So we are just gonna get straight into it. Run begins when I load this this save that is made when we first gain control of our character after a long character creation. However, I think for this one, the time will start when we input the character name, which will be the incentive for this speedrun. So, incentive name doesn't fit. Smiley face. No smiley face. Perfect. So run starts right there.
You can do it.
So, right in the beginning here, I want to give a light photosensitive warning to all viewers who are severely epileptic or just don't like flashing lights like this, because that's what I'm going to be doing for the majority of this run. Special skills here, we are prioritizing endurance and perception to get high speech and high lockpick as well, which are very important. And right in the beginning here, we're gonna do a small trick called truck push, where we push our dad from one dialogue trigger to another. So he's gonna stand here, we're gonna quick load a couple times. That's this flashing black like this, skip up a couple lines, push him to the next dialogue trigger, quick load a little bit more, and then we are gonna leave to become a 10-year-old. When you're a 10-year-old, you have birthday parties, apparently, and there's a lot of people here, but we don't want to listen to their speech about how great we are and stuff like that. So we are gonna quick load. We're gonna keep quick loading to go through a wall, and we are gonna then do something called stop hopping. Stop hopping is basically this game's version of bee hopping from Source games, if you've ever seen that. Essentially, we stop, we hop, and we also put in a little flick of the mouse to trick the game into thinking we're moving sideways and forward at the same time. And it kind of puts both of those vectors in the same direction. So we go about 70%, 60 to 70% faster than normal. We shoot the rad roach, we tell our dad, who is voiced by Liam Neeson, by the way, fun fact, about how good we are, and then we are going to take a picture. Quick load once more to skip that dialogue line. And we are going to become a, let's see, is it 16? Yeah, 16-year-old. As a 16-year-old in this underground vault, you do something called the GOAT test, which basically determines what you are the best at, your tag skills in this game. Also, here's one of the collectibles that we're gonna collect. This is 1 out of 20, the medicine bobblehead. Clip through that door. So this is where we take the GOAT test. However, we are gonna tell our teacher, Mr. Roch, that the GOAT test is stupid and that we just want to get our tag skills, which are gonna be lockpick, explosives, and speech. We're gonna leave to progress in time to become a 19-year-old. Now when we wake up as a 19-year-old, we are going to be woken up by our friend Amada, who's going to tell us that our dad has escaped the vault and we have to go find him. Fun fact, this little dialogue here, the fastest way to get out of it is telling Amada that you dreamt about her, which is quite funny, but also a little bit creepy. We're going to take some stim packs, and here's going to be something that is going to be pretty essential for the entirety of the run. I'm going to clip out of bounds, I'm going to fall out of bounds, and I'm going to land and teleport to a predetermined spot in the vault. This is called COC, and if you understand COC, you're gonna understand the majority of this run. So we're gonna do it multiple times, so you're gonna see it in action multiple times. It's essentially a failsafe mechanic that Bethesda put into their games, just in case the player or items fall out of bounds, you can still get them. so they don't fall infinitely. So we're gonna stop hop out of here. We are gonna clip on this little corner to access this door from behind. And then here we're gonna do another clip out of bounds, fall out of bounds, and then teleport right here. So that is the vault complete. Right here I'm gonna do a movement glitch that is pretty essential for the entire run, but I'm gonna explain it a little bit later. So just letting you know that I'm doing a trick here that I'm gonna have to explain. Just give me a second. The timing here is pretty precise. Come on. Come on. Come on. There it is. Is that it? That's it. Okay, so just so you know, right now we're moving 60% faster because of this glitch called Speed Cripple, which again, I'll explain that in just a minute. First level up here, we get, we put it all into speech and get Little Leaguer to get our explosive skill up above 25. We're gonna now enter one of the major cities in the Wasteland called Megaton. We're also gonna wait 3 hours outside here to just progress at time, so a shop inside of Megaton will be open. We're also gonna get some pop-ups for some DLCs like you just saw. Inside of Megaton there are 2 quests that we need to do. One of them involves in this bomb that for some reason the inhabitants has decided to build their town around. We defuse it, and then to finish the quest we just tell the mayor that we finished the quest, and he's very impressed, and he gives us a house key to live in Megaton, which is really nice. The second quest involves this character, Moira, who gives us probably the most famous quest in this game, the Wasteland Survival Guide. It's a really long quest, but in the speedrun we skip almost all of it by telling her that the quest is dumb and that she should just basically give up on her life work by passing this 40% speed check right here. But I failed it twice, but it's fine. We can reload a save and try it again. There we go. We're gonna grab this holotape and then we're gonna leave. And we're gonna fast travel back to Megaton, so we can place that in the beginning. Put this skill points into speech, get Black Widow. Where's the mayor? Here he is.
I'll be damned.
You say, I'll be damned. You did a great job, and we are gonna say thank you. Then we're gonna wait for him to unlock his house door, if he will. There we go. Because inside he has this second bobblehead, the strength bobblehead, which is great. We're gonna teleport back to Megaton to get placed a little bit closer to the door and leave. So a lot happened right there. We completed 2 quests, that being the Power of the Atom quest and the Wasteland Survival Guide quest. 2 quick quests in the speedrun, so we are on track on our little checklist, if you will. We collected a bobblehead. We also picked up a holotape for a quest later on called the Replicated Man. You need 3 of those holotapes that are scattered all around the Wasteland. So we got the first one for that, but we're not gonna finish it until an hour or 2 from now. But right now we're making our way towards the Arlington Cemetery, discovering the Super Duper Mart on the way, which we're gonna fast travel back to later. We're not gonna do anything at the Super Duper Mart. It's just a good fast travel point to have. And before I explain the glitch I just need to take a sip of water. Okay, so the movement glitch that we use in this game is called Speed Cripple. Essentially, when you cripple your legs in this game, the game applies a modifier on top of your movement speed, removing 60% of your movement speed. So you move a little bit slower because you have a broken leg. But if you quick load at a specific point, when you cripple your legs, you will that modifier will be instead applied on top of your movement speed. So we are currently running at 60% faster movement speed constantly. Also, welcome to out of bounds stuff in this game. Most of the interior cells are gonna look like that, so if if you can follow it, you're gonna be able to understand most of what's going on in this run. I don't think it's too difficult to follow, but I'll try to explain it as we go. But yeah, speed cripple is a very good glitch. You might be asking why we don't stop hop and use speed cripple at the same time. It's because it doesn't work. They just don't stack. I can still stop hop, but I don't gain any extra movement speed from that. In here, the Arlington Cemetery household or something, we grab the luck bobblehead and we leave and we fast travel back to the flooded metro to continue running towards the Jefferson Memorial. So if you didn't know, Fallout 3 takes place in a post-apocalyptic Washington, D.C. So if you're familiar with Washington, D.C., there's a lot of historical monuments that also exist in this game. And one of them being the Jefferson Memorial. Now, the Jefferson Memorial is a very important place in this game. It's basically where our dad's life work takes place and where he's been working on it for a long time to purify the waters around DC so the people there will be able to live better. Also, here's a different glitch I'm gonna do. I'm gonna open the Pip-Boy to the map, and now I'm gonna open it again and spam right click. And when I do that, I still have the do you want to set up your marker prompt open. This stops all of the movements and loading and stuff in the game, including the starting of the swimming animation. So I can use this to walk at the bottom of the Potomac River, which is really cool. That glitch is called time stop. I know, shocker. And that is also going to be used at different points around the run where there's a lot of enemies and or water, as you just saw, because swimming is actually slower than running. Also, shocker, I know. But yeah, now we're just gonna get the fast travel point. We're not gonna clear out the Jefferson Memorial right now. We're gonna do that later. And now we are gonna run towards Arafu. Sorry, I need to take a sip of water here real quick. My throat is getting dry. All right. So, on the way to Arafu, we are gonna go into a little place called Big Town. Big Town is a small little settlement that has one quest for us. There's a guy there saying that there is one of their members called Red has gone missing, and he wants us to go and find her. So that's what we're gonna do. But to get into Big Town, we're gonna have to do a little bit of a tricky jump called a mailbox jump. It's coming up right here. We'll see if I get it first try. I don't usually get it first try, but we'll see. It's right here. Make a quick save right before, and I got it. So of course I did. That jump is trickier than it looks. But here's Dusty. He's gonna tell us I can start looking for your friend. So then, yeah, we get the Big Trouble in Big Town quest. So yeah, we're actually going to Arafu, which is also a small settlement, where the main guy and protector, Evan. I want to say Evan King, but I don't think that's his name. His name is Evan, and Evan has been dealing with a bit of a problem in Arafu. There are vampires in the Wasteland, he says, that has been terrorizing his inhabitants and even killed and kidnapped one of them. Which, hearing that, you might think is very cool. I mean, vampires in a video game. But sadly, I hate to burst your bubble, they are actually not vampires. They just pretend to be vampires for, I don't know, the glory of being a vampire, I guess. But either way, Evan has a quest for us to find his missing friend, I guess. Also, here we can use time stop again to skip a little bit of a cutscene. There's a cutscene triggered right here to
Hang on, you're not one of them.
that you can just skip by using time stop. Also, you might be wondering why I don't use time stop all the time. It's because time stop stops everything in the game, including world rendering. So if you move too far away from where you initiated the glitch, the game will crash because it has just too much to load at the same time. But we're gonna walk around Arafu, checking up on the residents.
Nice to see a friendly.
And there are only 3 residents here, and this is the 3rd one. So we're gonna check. Oh no, they're dead. Then we're gonna go back to Evan and tell him that the west residents are dead.
What did they tell you?
Oh, his name was actually Evan King. And we're gonna say we're gonna find the missing west member, and you don't have to worry, man. So that's Arafu done. We can technically go complete the quest now, but doing it now is slower because we still haven't gotten the weapon that we're gonna use for the majority of the run, which is basically a one-hit kill weapon in every sense, because we're playing on very easy. There's no reason to play on any difficulty higher. So we're playing on very easy, and we want to get the weapon that can pretty much one-shot every single enemy, except 2 specific named NPCs and Super Mutant Behemoths, I believe. Give me a sec. And a really dry mouth today. But now we're also going to pick up another quest from this place called Paradise Falls, which is essentially a slaver encampment. The main slaver of this place, Grouse, wants us to go around the Wasteland and enslave 4 specific people. But luckily, to complete this quest, you only have to enslave 1 person. So that's what we're going to do. We're not going to enslave 4 people, because that would be very slow, and also pretty terrible if you think about it. But very soon we are gonna enter the game's first DLC. This game has 4 DLCs, or 5 DLCs. Sorry, those being Broken Steel, Point Lookout, Operation Anchorage, Mothership Zeta, and The Pit. The first one that we're gonna enter is Mothership Zeta, which is a DLC that takes place in outer space, inside of a spaceship, which is really cool on paper, but the DLC is actually pretty boring. It doesn't have a lot going for it. It has a spacewalk, which is pretty neat. It has some cool weapons. You get to fight aliens, but that's pretty much where the good parts stop for the DLC. The main protagonist is pretty annoying. I don't like her. I think she's really annoying to listen to. Luckily we skip all dialogue in the game, so or at least as much as we can. And the DLC is pretty short too. Essentially, Broken Steel and Point Lookout are the 2 DLCs that are the longest, and The Pit, Operation Anchorage, and Mothership Zeta are pretty short. Because there's just a ton of skips, and there's not that much content in the DLC itself. However, Mothership Zeta has one optional quest that you have to do. It's not actually optional if you're playing it casually, but for speedrunners it's optional. That we're gonna have to do, called Among the Stars. But also, welcome to Minefield. This is a place called Minefield. I'm gonna use time stop here to not get blown to bits. And we're gonna have to kill this one NPC up here to progress a quest. Get him. There we go. Also, as you saw right here, I'll show you again. When I don't have my hands pulled out, I run at a higher speed, right? But as soon as I pull them out, I run at a slower speed. The way to fix this is by making a hard save, loading the save we made on top of the rock where we got speed cripple, make a quick save, cripple the legs, there we go, and then getting it back again. So there we go. Getting speed cripple again is pretty easy if you have gotten it the first time, but if you close the game, it's gonna be pretty hard to get it back. So we're just gonna hope and pray that the game does not crash. The game is pretty crash heavy. It's pretty notoriously crash heavy, so if it crashes, it's now not a huge deal. We're just gonna have to spend a little bit of time getting speed cripple back, but it should not be a problem. That being said, speaking on the topic of speed cripple, there is a different way you can get speed cripple. The way we have done it now is called cliff cripple. It's the fastest way to do it. You just throw yourself off a cliff and quick load when you're at the bottom. But another way to do it that is more recommended for this category is something called missile cripple. It's basically the same thing. You have a missile launcher they shoot into the ground, and when you're shooting it into the ground and it explodes to cripple your legs, you quick load. It's the same principle. The timing is much easier, but for my PC specifically, it does not work very well. I have an easier time with cliff cripple. Some people have an easier time with missile cripple. And it's just what happens. It is what it is. But this is Mothership Zeta. We are now inside of the DLC, and I don't know what's going on in this cutscene, by the way. So I guess they're kind of operating on us, these aliens. But I'm never too sure. I've seen this probably 1,000 times, and I still don't understand what's going on. Excuse me. Alright. So, in this DLC, there's gonna be a lot of door clips and a lot of out of bounds. So, for those that enjoy that it's gonna be a plethora of those glitches. I personally really like the out of bounds in this game. I think it's really fun. It just makes for a cool and different speedrun. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of that here.
You okay?
Also, this is Soma. This is one of the protagonists of the DLC. We're not gonna stay in the cell with her. Instead, we are gonna clip out of bounds and then fall and COC further in. Gonna open this chest to get our stuff back. Clip through this door, enter this one, and now we are gonna make our way towards the core. The core is just basically a center area where you can just go to a lot of different places in the spaceship. Also, clips can also be inconsistent from PC to PC, but for the most part, it's the same. Also, here comes one of my favorite clips in the entire game. You can clip out of bounds here and jump on top of the playable area by... Oh, I actually got it. Come on. How am I not getting it now? There we go. I think that's pretty cool, mostly because it just took me a long time to learn it, and once I finally got it, got the hang of it, it's pretty nice to do. Also, here we're gonna clip out of bounds again. COC, I'm gonna press this button to free our cryo-frozen friends. Also gonna get this spacesuit. Talk to Sally. Get this level up, put it all into lockpick, get educated. The educated perk, which just gives us more skill points when we level up. And now we're gonna start doing the optional quest Among the Stars. If you were just doing the DLC and just to finish the DLC as fast as possible, you could go finish it right now, because the teleporter to the bridge of this alien vessel is already open. It's open at all times. You can go get it right now by clipping out of bounds. But we have to finish this quest because we are doing all quests. Among the Stars is what you do in this quest is just destroy 3 generators in 3 different places. Also, here is also another glitch: third-person interaction. You can interact with stuff when you're in third person that you wouldn't normally be able to reach by going into third person like this and spinning the camera around. Pretty neat. There are some setups for different third-person interactions, because the thing you're interacting with might be pretty small, so having a setup is just more consistent instead of just throwing yourself at it. So now we're just waiting for the generator to be destroyed by looking at the left marker there in the compass. right there. And now we shall enter the cryo labs. Inside here, we're going to clip out of bounds immediately again. Clip out of bounds immediately again. There we go. And then right here, we're going to clip on top of the cell, the playable area, by clipping out of bounds here and then holding backwards and quick loading again. Pretty neat. Skips this room, which you would have to stand outside of and wait for the door to open. And now we clip out of bounds again to COC next to the generator, conveniently enough, and the teleporter we need to use to get back. Also right here is a bit of RNG. You can... Sometimes a alien runs in here with a security baton that you want to get. I didn't get in here this time. Okay, let's just ignore him then. You don't need the security baton, it just makes the fight on the bridge a little bit easier. I'll wait for this to be destroyed, and then use this, and then run towards the exit. Now the third place is the robot assembly, which also has a pretty cool clip coming up. But we also need to get these little things, alien epoxy. They're basically small weapon repair kits for... I think they work for any weapon. But we are going to use them for the alien blaster, which is going to be our main weapon for the run, which is also pretty cool. Imagine a Wasteland running around with the alien blaster. Also here a little clip to get out of bounds. And then you can jump in here to skip the majority of the walking in this section. So right here is the third terminal, and soon the spacewalk is coming up, which is arguably the best part of the DLC. We're gonna grab some more epoxy on our way out before we clip out of bounds again and COC back to the beginning. Most COC points in the game are placed in the beginning of the cell where you enter, basically. So like this one, you COC and you are placed back at the engineering core. So there was the third one destroyed. We are gonna talk to Sally here.
Wow, you did.
Wow, you did it. And then we're gonna enter this place, clip out of bounds again, and then on top of the cell. Okay, I didn't make it. Let's try again. Let's try it. Third time's the charm. There it is. So this is the spacewalk. You are outside in outer space, and you have to fix up these little cylindrical things. What's interesting about this area is that for some reason speed cripple is not applied here, which is really interesting. I don't know why that is the case. So you have to stop hop during this section, but that's basically gonna be the last time we stop hop. Oh, did the game soft lock? I think the game might have soft locked. Let's try that again. I heard the little click that should start a small cutscene, but cutscene did not start. That's interesting. That's never happened before. But it should be fine. We should just try again. See what happens. Maybe I missed interacting with one of those. Oh, there it is. All right. So now we are gonna do the clip to the teleporter to the bridge that I talked about earlier. There we go, quest complete. Can I clip through this door, please? Come on. There it is. Activate the teleporter to get back to the core. And then, actually I'm gonna do the clip. You can do 2 clips here. This is the bit slower one, but it's also a little bit safer. So there we go. Get onto the bridge. equip the 10mm pistol. Clear out the bridge. Thank you. Paulson helped out. Because he's just cool like that. Alright. Very cool. Press this button to make it so the spaceship fires at full power. Also, if you stand here and look up, you can actually see the other spaceship spawn in. Which, by the way, is the final boss fight of this DLC. Yeah, there we go. And then just sit still and then it starts moving, of course. Bit of an oversight from the developers. But this is the boss fight of the DLC. You fight another spaceship, which also sounds really cool, I'll admit. But essentially you just stand here, press this button for 30 seconds, and then you're done. It's not as exciting as it looks. Or as it sounds, I mean, but it is easy. It does have some RNG though. Sometimes the aliens cut out the power, so you have to run around and press 4 buttons. So we just hope that doesn't happen. So right here, just wait for it to light up, and then you hit it again. This place is really a speedrunner's nightmare. Because we have been tinkering with this for years, and we haven't found a single way to make this faster. There's no waiting manipulation here. There's no quick load manipulation you can do to make it so it just takes more damage. Because if it drops the shield down to 1 bar, it takes more damage when you shoot. Which it seems to do at random, but there's no way to manipulate it. Also, this is the power outage I talked about. So you have to run around here, press these 4 buttons, and then we do this again. Just a small time loss. It's not huge. But this spaceship should be dead in about 4 shots, I think. Maybe more. So let's count. 1. Maybe 2 more, right? Let's see. 2. This could be the one. No, 1 more. Sometimes it can die on that one, but not this time. So, spaceship destroyed. Stand here and wait for an hour. Stand here and wait for another hour, I guess. Gone. Are you guys gonna like...
Hey, I thought you should know.
Okay. He's supposed to come up to you immediately, but he didn't. So right here we're gonna get the weapon of our... of the run, which is the alien blaster. What's really good about the alien blaster is that it does a decent amount of damage, but what really makes it shine is that it on every single shot it doesn't only crit, it double crits, meaning that yeah, every shot is a double crit shot, which means that you can kill a Deathclaw in 1 shot if you hit it in the head, which is one of the toughest enemies in the game. So yeah, that was Greener Pastures, by the way. We picked up the 4th bobblehead of the run, which I didn't pay attention to which one it was, sadly. But now we are going to run to Vault 92, sorry. Vault 92 is a vault that houses a thing called the Stradivarius. I don't know if it's the actual Stradivarius or what, but it's a violin that someone by the name of Agatha wants to have. We don't have that quest right now, but you can pick up the quest item right now before you actually have the quest, which is interesting. And inside this place we're also going to pick up 2 fusion batteries for later. Also get some stim packs. Clip through this door, clip through this door, clip on top of this cell, and then enter this door over here. We're gonna clip on top of the cell, and here we're gonna do the third-person interaction that I talked about earlier. Just go into third person, and then pick it up through the wall. Then clip out of bounds again, and then run back to the entrance. So that's Vault 92. Now we're gonna pass through a very dangerous place called Old Only, which we're gonna get to in about 2 hours and 10 minutes. As like the second final quest of the run. But we are gonna make our way towards the Republic of Dave, which is a closed off settlement that is run by Dave, who I believe overthrew his dad. I think the lore is that he overthrew his dad and renamed that dad's country to Republic of Dave after himself, which is quite interesting. But why we're running over here is because it houses the 5th bobblehead of the run. So that's what we need. I don't remember which. I think it's the Perception bobblehead. Yeah. I don't think the order that we pick up the bobbleheads in this run doesn't really matter for the game itself, because we already have enough skill points and enough special stats in the things we need. So we're good on that front. But right here you can jump over the fence, and you want to actually time stop here, because sometimes the people of this place is not too friendly and they're gonna shoot you on sight, which means you can't fast travel. So let's see if I got it. I did. Perfect. That was also one of those that was a huge mystery when for the longest time. But luckily a runner by the name of Hydrasonics was able to find found that if you use time stop when you enter that place, the chance of those people being hostile to you is way lower. So, you know, that's great. So now we are gonna make our way towards the I cannot remember what this place is called, but we are basically gonna go here and kill one person for a different quest that we will get to later. In this speedrun, you're gonna realize that we are pretty mean to basically everyone, and we're not a good person. So here, for example, the person that we're gonna kill is actually the head of a small organization that frees slaves and houses escaped slaves. And we're gonna kill him because the fastest way to finish the quest is by siding with the slavers and saying that you killed the head of the slave, the anti-slave master, or whatever you want. So he stands over here, and we're just gonna take a bit of a snipe shot at him. There we go. Hannibal Hamlin is his name. So that is for a quest later, so now we can just turn that quest in. A lot of the first hour or so is just setting up a bunch of quests to be completed and collecting some bobbleheads. And then the run gets more interesting when we get into the DLCs and we actually finish some quests and we follow the main story for once. Because remember, we're out in the Wasteland to look for our dad, who has escaped. But spoiler alert, he is stuck in a vault that we need to free him from. But here is Canterbury Commons. There's a bit of a feud here between two superheroes, the Mechanist and the Antagonizer. And the way we finish this quest is by talking to Uncle Ro here to actually get the quest. And then we are gonna go outside and we are basically gonna kill this person. So the Mechanist is dead, and the feud between the two superheroes over who should run the city is over. The Antagonizer is the one that takes over the city now, and the quest is complete. So yeah, also pretty easy quest. It is a pretty long-winded quest. There's a lot of different ways you can finish it, but that is the fastest way we can finish it. So now we're running towards Vault 108, which is a pretty funny vault. I believe in the wider Fallout 3 community, the name of this vault is called the Gary Vault. Sorry, it's called the Gary Vault. Why is it called the Gary Vault? Well, you'll see why. You'll see why. It's self-explanatory to say the least. But this place houses a bobblehead for us, just like most places that we go to be honest. At least for this first hour. Excuse me, more rats. But inside here, we're gonna clip out of bounds. There it is.
Gary. Gary.
See why this place is called the Gary Vault?
Gary. Gary.
Yeah, all the NPCs here say Gary. I believe the lore said one person cloned himself and it kind of went out of control, and so now every person who lives in this vault is called Gary and can only say his name. But yeah, we clip out of bounds there to COC back to the beginning and leave the Gary Vault for forever, essentially. Now we're gonna run to the National Guard to get another bobblehead. And there's also a bit of a route change here. We usually don't pick up any other weapons except for the alien blaster and the missile launcher if you're doing missile cripple. But now there is a different strat for one of the quests in Point Lookout, which involves us actually using the missile launcher. And what's really good about the National Guard is that if you're not doing missile cripple, you can still get the missile launcher and a bunch of missiles, which is great, because we already go here for the agility bobblehead, I think it is. I'm a bit hesitant on saying which bobblehead is which, because I know I will have hundreds of people correcting me saying that it's not that one. But I'm pretty sure this one is agility. There's two robots out here that we have to dispose of. Also, throughout the run, we should also look in these check vending machines if they have a Nuka-Cola Quantum in them. Because you need 30 Nuka-Cola Quantums to finish the Nuka-Cola Challenge, which is a collection quest. And we have a way we can dupe Nuka-Cola Quantums if we can just find one in a container. But right here is the... Darn, it wasn't agility, it was small guns. Next time, maybe. So here we have a bunch of missiles and a missile launcher. That is going to prove to be extremely useful. Clip out of bounds again to COC. Clip through those pipes and then leave. And now we are finally going to go to the Jefferson Memorial that we discovered 30 minutes from now. And inside the Jefferson Memorial is a bunch of super mutants that we are quickly going to dispose of in a very specific order to do this the fastest. Or it's not very precise, but it's you know, speedrun approved of the speedrun approved order, if you will. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words. There's also a basement level that we also have to clear out. So here we're gonna COC.
Game's over. No more games.
Okay, thank you. Kill those two, kill that guy, because he can sometimes hide behind... I don't know how I missed that one. There we go. He can sometimes hide behind the wall, and you have to run all the way down the hall to kill him, which obviously is pretty slow. And yeah, the last one is right here. He has no clue that everybody is gone, which I think is pretty funny. So yeah, that was the Jefferson Memorial. We are gonna come back here later for probably the worst quest in the game, if you ask me. called Waters of Life, but that's for later. That's not for now. But now is the main place for any person who is familiar with Washington D.C. Because we are heading to the mall, the downtown DC area. The downtown DC area has a lot of locations and quests and stuff that we need to do. So we are gonna pick up locations, and we're gonna finish quests, and we're gonna begin quests, and it's gonna be a lot. But also here is the main settlement of in the Wasteland called Rivet City. It's basically a huge aircraft carrier that houses a bunch of people, which is pretty cool, which also has a bunch of quests that we'll get to later when it's more beneficial to go there, when we actually have more stuff to do. No quantum there yet. We're still looking for a quantum, but it's fine. We have an hour and a half to find one, so it's cool for now. Also, the metro system can be pretty hard to navigate if you're not familiar with it. I know I personally struggled with it when I first started running the game. I found it really confusing and everything looks the same. But it is a pretty convenient way to get around the map. At least in this southeastern part of the Wasteland. But we're gonna exit this place to enter the Museum of Technology, which has a newer strat that was, by newer I mean like it's a year old, but for this game that still counts. A newer strat which involves us opening this. There's a door up there that we can't reach, but we can reach it from down here by going into third person and jumping. Right there. This strat was also found by Hydrosonics, which is really cool. He has found a bunch of optimizations for this game, so thank you, Hydra. But in here we are gonna get the a satellite dish for the Virgo 2 dish, and that's for the GNR quest, the Galaxy News Radio quest, that we're gonna do also a lot later. But we get the dish now because, yeah, we're in the area. And now we are gonna run towards the Washington Monument in all its glory. We're not gonna go in yet. This is actually where you put in the Virgo dish to enhance the Galaxy News Radio's signal. But we can't do it right now because the door is locked. But we'll get the code to the door later when we actually begin the quest. But we get the location now, and we run towards the Lincoln Memorial. The Lincoln Memorial has the quest that we talked about earlier, with the anti-slavery guy that we killed. So this basically houses the other faction, which is quite ironic when you think about it, considering it's a Lincoln Memorial. But I digress. So we're gonna go in, tell the guy there, Leroy, that Hannibal Hamlin is dead, and that they are now free to do whatever they want. Sometimes the game can crash here. It didn't this time.
I'm Leroy Walker.
He is Leroy Walker indeed. So finish that one and then go back to the Washington Memorial. We're gonna discover the Museum of History right here, which I got stuck on a rock, which has also a quest we're gonna do later. So as I said, there's a lot of setup for a bunch of later quests in this beginning portion of the run. But I think pretty soon we'll get into the more interesting stuff. Also, here's a super mutant that if you miss too many times, you will actually blow up this bus, and you can die from it. So that's not very cool. But in here is inside of the National Archives. Here is where we're gonna get the Declaration of Independence. That's what it's called. And why do we get that? Well, there's a guy in Rivet City that really wants us to He really wants to have it because he has a history museum in Rivet City. So we're just helping him out. Essentially. And I think it's pretty cool that this game has a bunch of historical items and locations. It just makes it feel more real and authentic. I don't know. Here's a stair clip that you do to get on top of the cell here. And then we're gonna enter the office of Button Gwyneth, who has some codes for us that we can unlock the strong rooms. Use third-person interaction here to open the safe, I thought. Or not. There we go. Declaration of Independence. And now we are gonna leave, and we're gonna fast travel to the... Oh, what's it called? The Super Duper Mart. That's what it's called. So that was the downtown DC area. Complete, which is usually a place where my runs die. Okay, not usually, but it happens. Also, this is also really fun. This is extremely rare. For some reason, the antagonizer just goes here and just stands here in the water for some reason. I have no clue why that happens, but it is really funny that it happens. It's just like, oh, I am the new leader of Canterbury Commons, but I'm just gonna stand here at the shore and look out into the distance. Maybe she feels bad. I don't know. We'll never know. But now we're making our way towards the Bethesda ruins, which you can make 1,000 jokes about, but Bethesda decided to make to code their offices into their game and make it all in ruins. But inside here is a bobblehead we want. Can I get up here? Thank you. And I'm not gonna say which one this is because I honestly have no idea. I have no clue. Let's see. I'm actually quite interested to see which one it is. Lockpick, of course. It's next to safe, of course it's lockpick. But now we're gonna leave and we are gonna fast travel to this metro station. This is the place we go to continue the quest of in Arafu that we started so long ago now, about the vampires and stuff. This quest is called Blood Ties, and essentially the people down here have Ian West captured, but Ian West doesn't really want to leave. So the way we're gonna make him leave is by killing the head vampire or wannabe vampire of this place, and we're gonna tell him that there's no reason for him to stay down here. He should go back up to Evan King, and he's gonna say, okay, I'll go back. Which I don't know if it's a good solution or not. Maybe it's just worth it for Ian to do whatever he wants, but it is what it is. We're gonna kill Vance here, who is the leader of the vampires. We're gonna take all his stuff because he has a shish kebab that we want, which is a flaming sword. Gonna unlock this door because this is where Ian West is. He's being held captive.
I thought I heard guns.
Evan King is looking for you. Yeah. Vance is dead. I'm sorry. Go back to Arafu. Clip out of bounds again. Enter this door. And then clip out of bounds in this corner. Fall out of bounds again. And then leave. Fast roll back to Arafu and finish the quest. We're also going to pick up a bobblehead that is in Arafu that I forgot to mention. But Evan King has a bobblehead in his home that he kept for himself, the bastard. There we go. Get that. And then fast travel to this place. We discovered this location earlier, but it's just close to the next vault. We're going to go to Vault 106. Which houses the next bobblehead. So basically now we're running kind of in a long chain up going west, essentially. I'm picking up a bunch of bobbleheads on the way. This place is pretty. I don't have a good relation with this vault because this vault door is really hard to clip through. So let's see how long this takes. There's a different clip you can do, but it's slower and I don't think it looks as cool. So I would be really keen on getting this one. Oh, I actually got it. Nice. Of course, as fast as it's just to get it first try. But that rarely happens, and I'm envious of all other runners who can get that clip pretty easily. But in here is the... Oh, let me see if I get this right. The science bobblehead.
Look what
Yes.
we have here.
Actually correct this time. And yeah, I think the lore of this vault is that the inhabitants went insane. Because of some gas or something. But I don't really know. That was a random encounter Deathclaw. He's not usually there. It's really rare to see a Deathclaw there, but we're good. So now we're running towards a raider infested is it a steel mill, I think? Which has a behemoth, by the way. We're not going to see the behemoth, but there's a behemoth that they have captured somehow. There's also a different behemoth here that you can get by picking up a teddy bear over the little hill over there. Yeah, down there somewhere is a shopping cart with a teddy bear in, and if you pick up the teddy bear, the super mutant behemoth comes running, which I think is pretty cool. But yeah, soon we are gonna get into Tranquility Lane, which is a pretty pivotal point in the story of this game. It's where our dad is being held. I talked about earlier how our dad is kept in a vault. That wasn't the entire truth. He is inside of a vault, but he's actually trapped inside of a simulation, a kind of VR simulation that we have to get him free from. You'll see. It's quite weird in a way. I've never really understood why we do it in the way we do it and why it works in that way. You'll see what I'm talking about. I might not be making much sense right now, but it will make sense. This place is very dangerous, so I think I'm going to use time stop here to not take as much damage, because this is a marathon setting, so we don't want to die. Also, this person did not spawn. That's rare. I think I missed the trigger because of time stop. Get the barter's bobblehead. Clip out of bounds. And then exit this place. Alright. And missed the jump. There we go. Also, getting up this rock face is pretty difficult. Clipping inside of rocks in this game is generally the worst thing that can happen to you. The run is more or less dead if it happens. With the exception of one single rock right there that you actually can clip out of. But overall, you don't want to accidentally clip inside of rocks. Speaking of rocks, the next place we're gonna go to is a place called Rockopolis. Rockopolis? Yeah, there we go. It's an unmarked location that is kind of hidden. You just kind of interact with a rock and you enter an underground space. I don't really know what the lore about that place is, but what I do know is that it has a bobblehead. It has a bobblehead that we want to get. Let's also see. There's a random encounter spawn right outside. Let's see what we got this time. Okay. That Talent Company. Talent Company is just a raider group that really likes to shoot at you. And they're not friends with anybody, basically. And I don't feel like dying, so I'm just gonna use time stuff to get past them. But that was Rockopolis. Now the next one is Yaoguai Tunnels, which by the name you might expect it to have a lot of Yaoguais, and you are correct. There are a lot of Yaoguais in these tunnels, and it's a very dangerous place. So not taking very much damage here would be optimal, to say the least. Also, after this, we're going to discover Little Lamplight, which is also a pretty important location in this game. That we'll get to later. I don't know exactly when, but it's later. Clip out of bounds here to get on top of the cave. Just skip some walking and then enter this door. And then in the back here, on top of a small box, there is a bobblehead that we want to get right there. Let's exit this place and then hold backwards and quick load again. Fall out of bounds and use the door and leave. So I should also say for the GDQ staff watching, a lot of the walking sections that this game obviously has a lot of walking sections, which I think is as you have probably noticed, there is time to talk about stuff, but there's also time for donations to be read out loud. Obviously, I don't think I've mentioned that up until now, but I do recognize that it's probably a good thing to mention. So this game has a lot of places where donations can be read, and I think that's pretty good. But anyways, we're not gonna enter Little Lamplight now. We're just gonna discover the location for later. There we go. And then we're gonna fast travel back to Smith Casey's garage, because inside of this garage is actually the vault that our dad is trapped in secretly. I don't know who Smith Casey is, but I know that he has a vault in his garage. Vault 112. See if I can get this clip. This clip hasn't been very nice to me recently. Let me try and reload the autosave. And this is probably the easiest clip, vault door clip in the game. Come on. Any day now. I think you can actually do a backup here, but I'm not as familiar with the backup. Let's go again. Or we can just open the door. That's also an option. If nothing works, you can just open the door. It's fine. It's fine, you know? It's just some time loss, but what is time loss really? Also, when audio is playing and you quick load, the audio disappears, so that's why the vault door opening was pretty silent. We're gonna talk to this robot who is gonna give us the Vault 112 jumpsuit, which we're gonna put on, and also drop some stuff, because all along every time we complete a quest, we're gonna get a reward, which can be some armor or weapons or something, and we don't want that stuff, because we want to be able to run all the time, and if you are carrying too much, you cannot run. I know, this shocking, I know, really crazy stuff. But now we are in Tranquility Lane, which is a simulation where we are a child, and to leave the simulation as quickly as possible, we are gonna put in a secret code on these items, and then this computer spawns in, which houses a Chinese invasion failsafe. It just initiates some, spawns in some Chinese invaders, and we can exit the simulation. The thing about going into simulation, though, is that when you turn into a child, you lose the speed cripple, which is really bad. It's really, really bad. But we can get it back by loading... I don't think I noticed... I said that, but... speed cripple is... Well, it goes through saves. So if you have it on one save, you will have it on the other. Let's see if I got it. Yeah. Nice. So we got it back. No crashes so far. Fingers crossed. And yeah, we got another level up here. Put it on to speech. Speech is gonna be super useful when we get into when we get into what's it called? Operation Anchorage, which is the second DLC we're gonna do. Because Operation Anchorage, right at the end, if you don't want to fight the final guy, you have to pass a speed check, which you can fail multiple times if you don't have high enough speech. So, you know, having high speech is pretty good. And I've also finished lockpick. We have 100 lockpick, which means we can lockpick any door we want, and you can actually force lockpicks in this game. And forcing lockpicks on very easy doors just always, it doesn't fail. You will always be able to open them. We ran through, what's this place called? Girder Shade. We ran through Girder Shade, which has a character by the name of Sierra Petrovita, who is a huge Nuka-Cola fan. She has a lot of Nuka-Cola memorabilia, and she is the one that gives us the Nuka-Cola challenge, which involves us collecting 30 Nuka-Cola Quantums. But we are not going to collect 30 Nuka-Cola Quantums. We're going to get one, and we are going to dupe it. Also, that is extremely rare. That's a random event called Firelance. It just spawns in a weapon by the name of Firelance. That is a 1% chance to happen. I did not plan for that to happen. That's pretty crazy that it happened. But yeah, that's pretty cool. We're gonna discover Rockland Tunnels here, which is for the Broken Steel DLC. So we're not gonna come back here in an hour and a half or so. But now we are gonna run towards probably the most dangerous location in the game, and also probably one of the most frustrating locations, which is Dunwich Building. The Dunwich Building is notorious for being kind of a maze and having a lot of feral ghouls for a bobblehead. I think it's the Endurance bobblehead that is in here. But speedrunners found a way to get that bobblehead almost immediately when entering. And that's because the door is situated on the upper floor. It's right up there, but you can actually access it from down here by going into third person. It actually was melee weapons, it wasn't endurance. Darn. But yeah, that just skips the entirety of Dunwich, which I think is great. I don't like Dunwich at all. So I'm really glad we have a way to skip it. Now we run towards Tempany Tower, which is a tower. Shocker, I know. In the middle of the Wasteland, which the main guy who runs the tower, Alistair Tenpenny, is, I don't think he's a nice guy at all. I think he's pretty evil. He wants to blow up Megaton, for example, or at least he's okay with blowing up Megaton. But we are not going to blow up Megaton. But as a punishment for him, as punishment for him wanting, or at least being accepting of killing a bunch of innocent people, we are gonna infest his tower by letting in a bunch of feral ghouls to kill him and his staff, and I guess everybody else living there. But let's just ignore that. But first off, we are gonna have to go inside and enslave the one person that I talked about earlier, who is Susan Lancaster. And for this, I am also going to bind all my stuff again. Bind that. Because when you leave Tranquility Lane, you lose all your items. Or not, you don't lose them, but you lose your binds. Also, here's a pretty slick jump to get inside of Tempany Tower. Okay, it wasn't very slick now, but okay, it still worked. Still worked. When you get caught like that, it usually doesn't work, but it worked anyways, so we're good. Let's see if Susan Lancaster is down here. She sometimes is, sometimes isn't. Oh, she is. Oh, not missile launcher. Gonna use the mesmertron on her to fry her brain. And then we're gonna say, put this collar on, run to Paradise Falls.
Oh my god! What the hell? Assault!
And now everybody's mad at us, but that's okay. We're gonna use the missile launcher here to shoot a generator, which is on the other side of that wall, to make the door open. And we're gonna talk to Roy Phillips, who spawns in. He's not supposed to be here, but because we have messed up the quest in this way, he spawns in. And now he actually gives us the Tempany Tower quest. So now we're actually gonna let in all the ghouls into this place. But to do that, we have to kill this guy, Chief Gustavo, who has a key to the tunnels running underneath, which houses the ghouls. And what we're gonna do is just open the door to let them all in. Gonna wait for this red dot to disappear. There we go. Fast travel back to Tempany Tower. Talk to Roy Phillips, who is standing out here waiting for us.
Great job, kid.
Saying great job. And then we're gonna go back to the Super Duper Mart. All right. So that was Tempany Tower, and now we're gonna do what is in speedrunning probably my least favorite quest, which is a quest called Those. This quest involves us helping a kid by the name of Brian Wilkes, who I guess lives in the metro system underneath, and the metro system houses a bunch of giant ants that he wants us to kill. So we're gonna have to go down there and kill them all. But to do that, we're not gonna actually kill them all. We are just gonna start a sonic emitter, which I guess either kills them or makes them not want to be there anymore. So he's gonna be fine, I think. Also gonna check this. No quantum. I'm gonna clip out of bounds here to COC into a deeper part of the metro system. There we go. We're also gonna kill a science guy who is who I guess lives or researches the fire ants down here, or the giant ants. Sorry. Who is kind of in our way. I think you can side with him as well for this quest, but we are not gonna do that. We're just gonna kill him and take his key card, so we can actually use the sonic emitter that I talked about. Grabbing some extra stims there for safety. So down here houses, as I said, a bunch of giant ants, but it's also an ant queen, which is it's one of those creatures that just makes my skin crawl. She's over there. I don't like looking at her, so I inhibitor pulse. Sonic emitter, inhibitor pulse. That basically kills all the ants. Oh, okay, she was right there. Oh my god, it just makes my skin crawl thinking about the. I just don't like giant insects. I'm sorry. I think that, yeah, that's disgusting. Marigold Station. Brian Wilkes is waiting for us here. And we finished his quest. That actually worked out pretty well. I just didn't expect the Ant Queen to be right there. Sorry. Almost lost my cool. We get strong back there to increase our carrying capacity from... we increase it by 50. Which really helps out with, you know, getting a lot of rewards and being able to run and stuff. And now we are finally gonna enter our second DLC. The Operation Anchorage DLC. Which, it's a DLC that takes place entirely inside of a simulation. Simulating you as a sort of infiltrator. During the Great War, which if you don't know the lore, the Great War was a nuclear war between the USA and China, and it's one of the battles, or one of the fronts of that war was in Alaska, which the Chinese had invaded. So this simulation simulates us, an infiltrator, taking back Alaska from the Chinese. Also, here is a person that wants to talk to us, but if you punch past them, they just don't. Essentially, if you're in an animation and an NPC can't interact with you, doesn't matter exactly what animation, but just in an animation in general. Gonna do some out of bounds stuff here to get to the simulation bunker a little bit faster. Essentially, it's a Brotherhood outcasts that hold this little outpost. Also, for this elevator, you can jump on top here and clip out of bounds here to COC right next to this lady, who we're gonna kill, and she has the neutral interference suit that we need to use to enter the simulation. And yeah, now we're just gonna sit here and wait until we are actually in. I don't know why they're shooting like crazy out there, but it is what it is. Okay. Sorry. Now inside, we are gonna immediately drop some armor we were giving, because running with armor on, or at least heavy armor, slows you down. So for the entire run, you don't want to be running with armor on, because it is just slower. So yeah, this is Operation Anchorage. In this beginning section, we just want to make our way towards some artillery guns that the Chinese are holding to shoot at us, basically. And our job as an infiltrator was to get behind enemy lines and destroy them in secrecy. But obviously, it's not very secret. Getting shot at a ton. We are just gonna run past them. Just killing them is slow. Also, here is a newer skip that was found, or rediscovered rather, by me. So if you get on top here and you use time stop, once you're past this rock, and you can jump over the side here and then over this way, you can skip having to go into a cave and circling around, and it just takes a little bit longer. This saves about 10 seconds. And the reason we have to use time stop is because this game has, or this DLC has a sort of out of bounds teleport back feature. So if you go too far outside of the playable area, you're gonna get teleported back. It's not out of bounds in the same way that COCs work, but it is a bit of a quirk. So you have to use time stop to get past that trigger, so you don't get teleported back. But yeah, most of this DLC is just a running simulator. Especially if you play the all DLCs category, which doesn't finish the optional quest. It's just a running simulator, but with the optional quest, you actually get to kill some enemies. with one of the best weapons in the game, the combat shotgun. I was about to call it the riot shotgun, but it's called the combat shotgun. So that at least makes it more interesting. But still, when you've done this enough times, it gets very monotonous. And when you're here losing time, you're like, what did I lose time to? But you know, it is what it is. It's not too bad. But we are gonna destroy the guns up here, the artillery guns, and then basically cheat by standing next to a health dispenser the entire time so we don't die. Because these guys do actually a lot of damage. So here's the first one. We place an explosive charge. There's also a lot of invisible walls here, which makes it so you can't just run straight up to this, to these guns, like in a straight line. So you kind of have to go around rocks and stuff, because Bethesda don't like fun. So that was the third placement. Here's the health dispenser. We're just gonna stand here and cheat while this guy shoots at us. Jesus. And yeah, it is. It is really unfair. I kind of feel bad for these guys, but don't hate the player, hate the game, right? So with those 3 guns destroyed, we're gonna get teleported back to
U.S. Army needs more soldiers like you.
to the U.S. Army camp. I'm gonna allow General Chase here to talk about the plan that we need to do, but we're gonna skip past all of it. Then we're gonna talk to Lieutenant Morgan, because he is gonna give us some recruitment markers that we need. We're gonna get the close assault package so we can get the shotgun. Gonna deploy the team, and now we can leave. So we're gonna go over here, talk to the quartermaster, get our shotgun. Also gonna bind this to keybind so we can quickly put it on and off. Yeah, I took it off. Because as I said, running with armor on is slower than running with it off. But having combat armor on is also really good if you don't want to die. So I just bound it to my to a hotkey so I can put it on quickly. So now we're doing Paving the Way, which is a quest that involves us clearing out 2 Chinese outposts. We're gonna walk past all these guys. There is a bunch of guys with missile launchers and stuff, which is really dangerous, but if you use time stop, you're pretty much good. Oh, yeah, see? I have no idea how he got that shot off, but that was really close. There's also a bunch of snipers around here, so I'm gonna use time stop here once again. But up here, we're actually gonna have to use our weapons to kill these guys. Right there. Awesome. And there's one hiding right there. See how they're kind of like invisible-ish? Oh, did the game crash? Oh, no, just stutter. Really thought the game was gonna crash there, but not today. You can also just unequip the weapon to reload it, so you're gonna see me not actually reload the gun. But instead just unequip it. So up here are the last match of my aim is really not on its best today, but this is the last guy. There's this guy too, but you don't have to kill him for some reason. So yeah, just stand here and wait to get teleported back. Then leave the tent. And now we go to the second outpost. What's really interesting about this part here is that I'm just gonna hold right there a little bit so don't get blown up, is that going out of bounds here is really easy. You just have to jump across this stick. This is out of bounds. You are not supposed to be able to be here, but I guess Bethesda just forgot to put an invisible wall there, which I think is really funny. But yeah, going out of bounds here is way faster than going the normal way. Also, here is a small route optimization that was discovered pretty recently. You can go above here and going over instead of going all the way around. So usually we would go all along the outside there, but with this little route optimization you can go straight this way and get over a fence. This is the outpost, by the way. Don't think I mentioned that, but this is the outpost. You can just kind of jump inside of these. Barbed wire don't actually hurt, which I also think is really funny. Just place that, run around this thing. Don't actually know what it is. But you don't want to get hit by it either, because if you get hit by it, you ragdoll all over the place and it's just a bad day. There we go. So this is the second one and the last one of paving the way, which is really nice. So just blows up those fuel tanks. And now we leave. Awesome. So now we are gonna go out of bounds again over that little stick, but we are gonna run along this this pipe here. That is okay. There it is. I was like, why is it not there? But yeah, just run. If you run along that pipe, you you can enter the final base early. Usually, you would have to do like a frontal assault on the base, but you don't have to do that. I guess it's not a base. I guess it's more of a factory that the enemy has just taken over. But anyway, you can go into the final base and interact with the door in there to just enter the final sequence. Which we're also gonna keep count on how many times I failed this speed check coming up. I think my standing record is failing it 12 or 13 times in a row, which is insane. I've never gotten even close to it, but we'll see if it happens this time. So there is an invisible wall here all the way at the except for the very end. The very end just doesn't have one for some reason. But here's the door. Interact with it. And here is the final enemy. I don't remember what his name is, but he has a speed check for us. Jingwei. And I got it first try. That's nice. So if you get it, if you finish that speed check, he just stands down, I guess. Kind of just stands there, waiting. And then we talk to General Chase again, and we leave the DLC. Awesome. That is Operation Anchorage complete. And all of these guys are mad at us because remember we killed their science lady. But in here we're gonna get that armor and also that missile launcher. I want to repair the missile launcher, and I'm gonna... I don't need that one either. Put that on 3. Put that on 4. Put that on 2. Put this one on 5. I'm gonna use the epoxy on my... Also, here is a pretty interesting thing. This elevator is not an actual elevator. The door to leave is just right here. So you can interact with the door right there and get out. We're gonna go to the Germantown police station, which has Red is kept captive in here by some super mutants. So we're gonna unlock this door, which is a 10% check to lockpick. So we're gonna see how long this takes. Usually doesn't take that long, but this is GDQ we're talking about, so this might take a while. Come on. Oh, okay, that was dumb. I actually got it right there. I just got into the groove of hitting quick load. There it is. Nice. So we're gonna unlock this cell. Talk to Red. We're gonna tell her, yeah, come with me. And that we shouldn't help another person here because that's slow. And then we are gonna go back to Big Town and we're gonna finish Big Trouble in Big Town.
Glad to...
Yeah, glad to be safely back home. And now we're gonna fast travel to the alien homing beacon. And we are gonna run towards a very interesting location called Oasis. In Oasis, there are a bunch of basically tree people. Their thing is that they worship a tree. They worship a tree and a tree, like a tree person, whose name is Harold. And the thing about Harold is that he wants to die. And he thinks that it's torture that they are actually keeping him alive. The tree people. So we are gonna help him out in the worst way possible by not peacefully ending his life, but in a painful way. Hurts my soul every single time, but it is in the essence of the speedrun, so it has to happen. To get to Oasis, the fastest, by the way, is to go down here into this little rock face. You clip inside of the rock, and you can walk out of bounds here. There's a lot of invisible walls here, so you can't go in a straight line here as you might want to. So you gotta hold a little bit to the left. Or, no, here it is. Yeah, hold a little bit to the left. And then you can go up here, and you discover Oasis. Fast travel to Oasis. Talk to Tree Father Birch. I'm gonna say, yeah, sure, lead on. I want to see your thing. I'm gonna wait for him to sit in his stool or his throne.
You have no idea.
We're gonna tell him, what is this place? Okay, I want to see the ceremony to see your tree. Sure. And then we're gonna wait for him again. We're gonna drink some sap. We're gonna skip over his speech.
I bid you to... All this.
Soon.
There it is. So now we are gonna meet Harold, and we're gonna immediately put him out of his misery by burning him to death. Goodbye, Harold. Sorry, dude. Feels bad, man, but it is what it is. I'm sure he would understand. Now we are gonna go into Rivet City, which is the main settlement in the Wasteland, and we're gonna finish a bunch of quests, and we're also gonna catch up again with our father, who, remember, we rescued. And he's gonna tell us that we have to get back to Project Purity and the Jefferson Memorial, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, Father, by the way, I already cleared it out for you, so he can go straight in there. But first off, we're gonna talk to this doctor. There he is. To pass a speed check to actually start the Replicated Man quest.
You've been rather busy.
And that's with this lady. The Replicated Man quest is basically it relates to the synths in Fallout 4 and the railroad, which is really interesting. Also, here's the 15th bobblehead, the intelligence bobblehead. And this guy, Mr. Simmer, wants to know about these androids, and Victoria Watts told us that we should just lie to him about the androids, that there are no androids, or synths, so he doesn't have to worry about it. So we finished the quest. In here is the museum I talked about with Abraham Washington, who we're gonna give the Declaration of Independence, as well as Agatha's violin, which finishes that quest as well. You can give it to Agatha and finish the quest that way, but going to Agatha is a bit out of the way. Also, on our way out here, we are gonna kill a guy by the name of Flack, right there. So we kill Flack, and we run away. And we need to be able to fast travel to the Jefferson Memorial. And now we're gonna start the worst quest in the entire game. I dislike this quest so much. It's yeah, no, I have bad dreams about it. I don't like it. And the reason I don't like it is because it's really long. It has a bunch of moving parts to it, a lot of very inconvenient clips, and things can go horribly wrong. I've lost many runs to this quest. But the first thing our dad wants us to do is to start the generator, or the pump rather. And the COC point puts us right here, and we clip through this fence. This is the very bad clips that I'm talking about. Clipping through fences in this game is a nightmare. But we got that one pretty easily. So now we're gonna go back to Dad. Liam Neeson, by the way. I think I mentioned that, but friendly reminder. We're gonna go into the basement again to install some fuses. And he also wants us to turn on the mainframe, so that's what we're gonna do. Put in the fuses. Okay, did not get that clip. That's fine. So yeah, put in the fuses and we go up here and turn on the mainframe.
There are a few minor repairs.
Like that. Yeah, and now we are gonna go into the pipe system to fix something else, and that's gonna be like the final thing we have to do before he can start Project Purity. But something is gonna go very wrong, very wrong. The evil faction in this game is the Enclave, and the Enclave does not want to purify the water because evil. So they are gonna arrive now, and they're gonna put a stop to our dad's plans, which really sucks. Sucks for him. I guess sucks for us too, but I mean, well, whatever floats the speedrun's boat. But we need to get back to Project Purity to actually rescue our dad. We need to kill this guy so he doesn't follow us, and we have to kill another Enclave soldier so he doesn't follow us. Right there. Into the rotunda. And right here is Colonel Autumn, who's like the main bad guy in this game, the main antagonist. And we're gonna talk to him twice to skip a bunch of dialogue. And then our dad is gonna turn on the mainframe. What is he? And we're gonna push Dr. Lee, who's gonna follow us later, to a different dialogue trigger. Or different, to just the place that she's gonna run to, rather. Right here. What is he? What is he? What is he? Can get her to beatbox. What is he? 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 Yeah, our dad is dying right now, because he activated it and radiation spilled everywhere, and it killed everybody in the room, including himself. So Liam Neeson sacrificed himself for the greater good. What a man. But now we have to escape with Dr. Lee and a bunch of her friends, but we're just gonna kill her friends so we don't have to worry about them. We're gonna say, yeah, follow me. We're gonna knock her down, and we're gonna use time stop, and we're gonna run through the Taft tunnels. Right now, Dr. Lee, sorry, is our companion. And companion, or temporary companion, but companions in general in this game follow you everywhere you go. So if you enter a new area, they will also come with you if they are not in combat. So that's why we knocked her down, so she would not be in combat. So now when I enter that door, she can actually follow us. This trick often gets catches new runners off guard because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense when you watch it, because what you're gonna see is that Dr. Lee is just gonna appear at the very end here out of nowhere. But it's just about manipulating the way that companions work in this game. So there she is. Gonna wait 1 hour so she starts talking. Quick load to skip those lines. So they actually open the door. And now we're gonna go in, finish the quest, and then we're gonna fast travel to Little Lamplight. In Little Lamplight is the main item, I guess you can call it, in this game that we need to get. Which is the GEC. The GEC is gonna help the Brotherhood of Steel in some way, and we need to get it. And it's inside Vault 87. And Vault 87 is a place that is inside Little Lamplight, which is this place filled with children. So yeah, we COC and then we clip out of bounds here, and then we're gonna do something called void swimming. So we go out of bounds over the void like this, we quick save, and then we go under the water and we quick load. And what this does is that we can now swim infinitely inside of the void. I'm also gonna drop my armor. There we go. We can now swim infinitely into the void, which is great because that means we can reach the door that is over here. And this is just way faster than running through the actual Little Lamplight section, which again is a place filled with children. And why I note that is because behind a big locked door is just a bunch of super mutants. I don't know why the children decided to live right next to a place filled with super mutants, but there is a huge door in between them. So I mean, I guess it's fine. Right? But yeah, we're making our way towards Vault 87, which is just a speedrunner's dream of clips and out of bounds shenanigans. That it's probably my favorite section in the run, if I'm gonna be completely honest. But you'll see. So right in the beginning here, we are gonna clip through a door, and then we're gonna clip on top of the cell to do something called Rock Boss, where you just go around this out of bounds rock to reach a door higher up. Really cool. You clip through another door, and then you clip on top of the cell. Then you clip here, and then you clip inbounds again. And if you don't fail it, or of course you fail it once to then try again. This is all part of the strat, promise. Clip inbounds again, then you clip out of bounds. And then you jump on top of this atrium, jump over an invisible gap, and enter this door, hold backwards, clip through the same door, and then you run towards the GEC. And to get the GEC, we're not going to go the normal way because, you could probably guess that, so we're going to get on top of the cell again. We are going to make a hard save right here because this is GDQ and we don't want to fail things. We're going to clip inbounds. We're going to spin around to grab the GEC through the wall. And then we're going to clip out of bounds again. There it is. And now we are going to run towards this room. Which is, here I have to explain something that has, I don't think it's been shown in GDQ speedruns before. So the Enclave is going to walk through that door when I go over there, right? But one character, you can, if you block that character from coming through the door, the cutscene is sped up. because the two lines that are the two characters that are supposed to talk to each other, their lines are set on top of each other. And the way to do this is by dropping an armor on the floor, picking it up, going over the trigger, opening the door, and holding it out like this. So what this does is that now when the cutscene plays, the armor that I held out there in the air is hopefully stuck in the air and is blocking the character from walking in, which should work. We'll see if it works.
Objective is secured, sir.
Good work, soldier.
It worked.
I'll have the
Make
tech
sure
come
the
down and
gate
remove
is
it immediately,
secured
sir.
aboard my...
So you see how they're speaking on top of each other? This is not normally how it's supposed to happen. This trick saves 15 seconds and it's probably the biggest mystery in this game ever. And it was finally solved about a year or two ago. It's great. I love it. It's called Colonel Autumn Skip, which, by the way, he didn't die in the purifier. Oh no. So now they have captured us. But we are gonna skip some lines here between him and the president, who is on the intercom over there, and we're gonna keep skipping the lines. And he speaks really slowly, but we're gonna skip them all, and then we're gonna wait a little bit so we can pick up our stuff right here and line ourselves up for a clip. Pick our stuff up and then clip out of bounds. COC and then put them all into repair. Need to get that up to 75 and then science. We're gonna get Animal Friend. We have Animal Friend 2 now, which should help us later on when we need to fast travel and there's a lot of dangerous enemies around. Dangerous animals. Also here is, we're gonna collect the bobblehead that probably most people missed when they played this game for the first time, because this energy weapons bobblehead, if you miss it, you cannot get it again. Even in the speedrun, it's almost impossible to get it back if you miss it. Also, clipping through this door, that door is really hard to clip through. I'm surprised I got that right away. But yeah, here we're gonna talk to the President Eden, who is a computer. He's not an actual person. Which, plot twist. We're gonna grab the FEV vial because he wants us to poison the water. We're gonna clip out of bounds to COC right next to these guys, or right next to the exit, basically, or closer to the exit. We have to walk back there a little bit to hit a trigger for this whole sequence to work. And then we're gonna exit this way, and we're gonna use time stop here because one of those guys has a missile launcher, and we're gonna leave. That's actually a gold split. But yeah, now we are gonna make our way towards Fort Constantine. And on the way, we're gonna discover a train station, which is gonna be used later. For it's the place where you enter the pit DLC. We're also gonna kind of start that DLC by talking to Werner, who is kind of the guy who helps you out in the DLC. So yeah, and we're also gonna start Point Lookout pretty soon. And yeah, this is also one of those times where it would be a great time for donations, donation readings, because we have a small walking section here. We're also gonna collect the last few bobbleheads. We're gonna collect the 17th, 18th, and 19th bobblehead, and the last one, the very last one, we're gonna get at the very end. But yeah, so right here is the tunnel, the train tunnel to the DLC. Also, during the Point Lookout, when we enter Point Lookout, I'm gonna have to use the bathroom. I hope that's fine. That would also be a great place to read donations. Just letting you know. By you, I mean the GDQ Snap, who's hopefully watching this. And And yeah, right now we're just gonna jump up these rocks and we're gonna make our way towards Werner. With Werner, there is a newer strat also found by Hydrosonics that makes it so you don't have to kill the raiders that is all around him. In this speedrun, it doesn't really make a difference because you have a lot of weapons anyways, but in other categories, it really matters because you don't have weapons. But if you just use time stop when walking up to him, he is completely fine.
You could have at least helped me with.
He's gonna talk to us like we already have killed the raiders,
I heard something.
and it's gonna be completely fine. And that saves maybe 10 seconds or so. But now we're running towards Fort Constantine, which is a huge missile facility. And also now, after we have gone through Waters of Life and the Jefferson Memorial and stuff, and Raven Rock, there's gonna be a lot of small Enclave outposts everywhere that can house soldiers with missile launchers, which is not good for us because if you cripple your legs, you lose speed cripple. I don't know if I mentioned that, but it is really important that we don't cripple our legs because then we're gonna lose speed cripple altogether. So down here in this little building is the Big Guns bobblehead, which we got right there. And now we are running towards Deathclaw Sanctuary, which is a cave system that has a bunch of Deathclaws. It's kind of like the Deathclaw equivalent of Yaogwai tunnels. And it has this one actually, now that I remember, this one has the Endurance bobblehead. Luckily, maybe if you play this game and you googled where you can get the Endurance bobblehead and you read Deathclaw Sanctuary, you might have been like, okay, I just won't go there. But you definitely should, because the bobblehead is right next to the front door, basically. There's no reason not to grab it. You don't have to go deep into the place at all. Although if you do want to get the unique weapons that are in here, you do have to go pretty deep in. But the bobblehead is essentially free. So you enter. This is this huge pillar and a Brahmin over here, and the bobblehead's right there. Great. So now we're gonna leave, and we're gonna be a bit careful here, because up here there's usually a guy with a missile launcher. Okay, I didn't see anyone, but we're fine. I'm gonna use time stop here as well, because they can look over the cliff we jumped off of and shoot us. And they have really good aim. But now we're running towards WKML, which is an unmarked location, a small little radio station that is just basically a hole in the ground, which some person has just been sitting in, having a radio station. Don't we all? So yeah, it's just this little hole in the ground, and it has the explosives bobblehead, and we're gonna fast travel away into the Citadel. And now we are finally gonna make ourselves towards the arguably the best DLC in this game. Me personally, I am tied between Broken Steel and Point Lookout. I think both are great, but I think I lean a little bit more towards Broken Steel. But this one is also great. And it just gives you a whole new area with a bunch of new quests. Is really large in scale. It's just a great DLC all around. But to get there, we have to buy a ticket and use the boat that is on the shore here. In this DLC, there's going to be a lot of side quests that we are going to have to do. So we'll hopefully keep track as we go. I don't know where we are at in terms of quest count, but I think we haven't failed anything so far. I should also probably bind these again. There we go. Also, we're gonna punch past this person, and then talk to Tobar, who is the guy who drives this. Also, oh, here's a completely new glitch I haven't explained. You can dupe stuff from vendors' inventories. So I have 2 items here, but if I click on this and press A slightly after each other, like that, I can move the things over, but I still have this window open. So I'm gonna give him 8 of these riverboat tickets, which means I can buy exactly 2 of the tickets. And I'm gonna do that again to get even more capital from him, so I can buy stim packs, I can buy wild punga fruit, and I can buy refined punga fruit. So that's great. And now we use the boat, and I'm gonna go for a toilet break. Be right back. All right. So now inside of the DLC, we're gonna fast travel to the pier, and we are gonna kind of in the same way as we did in the Wasteland. We run around and collect locations. That's kind of what we do now in the beginning portion of this DLC. We run around and we collect a few locations that we need, as well as some items we need later for quests. So this first location is not a very interesting location, but it has some fusion batteries that we need to need later on for making moonshine. Also right here we're gonna pick up some wild punga. You might be asking why I picked up the wild and refined punga. The refined punga is for a side quest in this DLC. Which involves us making moonshine. Sorry. Which involves us making moonshine, and the raw punga is for duping. So to dupe stuff in this game, you have to have items with a weight. You have to have items with weight, and you have to have if you want 30 of some item, you need 30 items of the item that has weight. So if you have 30 forks, for example, you can use the 30 forks to get 30 of any other item. That's essentially how it works. Also, the kind of hole in the ground is a soil extraction with a soil extraction tape, which is for another quest that we just got. And up here is a church, which has basically the main protagonists of this DLC. This is where they live, which I don't remember what their name is right now, but we discovered this location for later, and then we go back to the place we first discovered. And then we are going to discover this ritual site, which is also for later. And now we're making our way towards the lighthouse. Also, we're gonna finish a quest that before I started speedrunning about 2 or 3 years ago. This quest was a huge pain in the ass in the run. It was a really long quest, and there was no real way to skip it. And now, in the current speedrun, there is a way to skip it. Essentially, it involves... I think the quest involves you talking or catching some spies or something. I can't really speak on it because I haven't done it. But essentially, there's this pipe down here. Using time stop here again, by the way. There's this pipe here that you can enter, and if you clip out of bounds and COC, you will get placed up there. So, like that. You get placed up here, and this is basically the ending section of this quest. You use this extraction briefing, and you go back and run through here, and you finish the quest. The Velvet Curtain, that is what it's called. So that's that quest complete. Really easy. And now we're gonna make our way towards the lighthouse. The bad guy in this DLC is a guy called Desmond, and his basically loose brain pal. I don't know how to really explain, but it's kind of a brain in a cup that also has consciousness, and they conspire against the people living in the church. But we are gonna talk to him to start his quest. And the way we do that is by going down here, and we hit a trigger to make him spawn in, and then we go into third person when we jump across there. Give me a sec. Okay, I missed it. There it is.
Yeah, to give me a...
So we talk to him, and then we talk about the tribals. That's what they're called. The people in the church. And then we leave him. So this also had some optimizations later on, or recently, sorry, which I think is pretty cool. Also by Hydrosonics. Also, clipping through here and COCing back on the top and then going to the cathedral. It's actually a cathedral, it's not a church, it's a cathedral. We talk to the tribals because we need to get access to their place, but they're gonna say no. And they wants us to go collect some seeds for them, some holy seeds. On our way to collect these holy seeds, we are gonna get the other two soil extractions that we talked about earlier. There's 3 soil extractions, and we got one of them. So we are gonna get the other 2, which are, yeah, again, these holes in the ground. And this would also be a great place for some donations. Just in this small walking section. Wait, did I not get it? Okay, maybe I forgot the first one, and I didn't get it. Wait, I know... Okay, hold on, I'm gonna go back real quick. Because there is a... I need to get the fusion batteries that are in there. Where did it go? It's over here. Completely lost track of where I was, sorry. Just need to double check that I actually got the... No, I didn't. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. We'll just get it later. Also here we're gonna collect the final raw punga that we need. We need 30 of them to dupe the 30. We're gonna use these to dupe the Nuka-Cola Quantums that I talked about earlier. So I think we're at 30 now, or at least close to it. Let me just check. Refined punga 8 and wild punga 30. Yeah, perfect. So this is the second soil extraction, or the third one, but I forgot the first one, so this is the second one. And now we're going towards the seeds. Also, this place where you collect the seeds is very interesting because you kind of hallucinate when picking up the seeds. And if you go through the place normally, you will see like a giant baby and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. But we're not gonna see any of that. Instead, we are gonna treat ourselves with some clips and out of bounds stuff, like most of this game. That's not to cast shame on it, but it's just a truth about the game. So we clip out of bounds in the rocks right here. There we go. And then we're gonna go on top here. And we're gonna do a pretty unique clip that I believe was discovered by Noob Salmon many years ago. But you go down here and then you hold right and then you quick load when you're on the top. Or you're at the top there. So you pick up the seeds, get kind of drugged, I guess. And yeah, keep going. So you normally go that way, but instead we are gonna go up here. Quick load to get past an invisible wall. And we are gonna leave. Like that. Perfect. Now we're gonna run to Black Hall Manor, which has a guy in it who wants to he wants us to collect a book for him that I don't remember the name of right now, but it's kind of like the Book of the Dead from the Evil Dead movies, right? Yeah, I don't know what it's called now. I can't remember the name, but it's kind of like that, skin and blood and flesh, stuff like that. So we're gonna time stop up to him to make him just
keep your distance.
Not get up of his chair.
Good.
So we're gonna say, yeah, I'll get your book. That guy later on has probably the best line in the game. Just letting you know. Okay, now we're gonna enter their place. We're gonna talk to this guy Jimson, and we are gonna say, who leads this tribe? Where can I find Jackson? So we have to look for Jackson. I'm gonna pick up 2 more refined punga. Get another level up here. Put them all into that, and let's get Life Giver. More HP. Why not? We have to talk to this lady, Nadine. And we're going to talk about finding Jackson. And now we are going to go towards, yeah, the place where Jackson is. But before we do that, we're going to do a side quest called Pilk Safari. Basically, this guy Pilk has a... it's kind of one of those rooms where you can go in and just break stuff all you want, but instead of breaking stuff, it's killing a bunch of feral ghouls. So if you survive, you, I don't know, get Pilk's seal of approval. Yeah, it's basically that what we're gonna do. We're gonna go in and we're gonna finish his safari. And here is a new strat that was discovered by Hydrosonics, which I think is really cool. I gotta admit. So we activate the thing, and then we stand over here.
You stop!
Or not, but the point is that we destroy the or kill the we kill the ghouls with the missile launcher. So just wait for them to gather. So this is why we need to have so many. We also don't have to blow ourselves up. That would be good. So otherwise you would have to run around all over the place. this off. Is that it? No, this is the final wave. Can finish the last guys off with the alien blaster. There it is. No. There it is. Yeah. Nice. So that went well. I didn't blow myself up, thank God. And that's Pilk Safari. Now we are gonna go into this this cave, where we are gonna look for the leader Jackson. But I'm gonna be honest, from here on out, the main story of the DLC I don't really understand. I don't really know why we do it in the way we do it. I just know that's what we do, and that's the fastest way to do it. But basically, we're gonna kill Jackson, and we're gonna talk to to Desmond's brain pal that I talked about earlier. And that is essentially gonna progress the quest into where we can do some more shenanigans. You'll see what I mean. So this is the brain I was talking about. So he's gonna tell us to blow up Desmond's house for some reason. But we have to go down here and enter this door and go back out and talk to Desmond. And now he's gonna want us to go and dump something in a dumpster over here. And for some reason now we also have his brain pal in our brain, so we can talk to him. So he wants us to deposit that thing, and then we're gonna go over to Desmond's house, and it's gonna blow all the bits. And Desmond is also standing there in the fire. That should really be a sign that the game is really broken. He's not supposed to be there. Like, at all. So, it's fun. Now we're gonna go to the ritual site. This is to get the book of, for that guy who lived in the manor, the old man. Clip out of bounds. There we go. So you clip out of bounds here, and then you jump on top here. Clip in bounds. Get this one. And then you clip out of bounds again. You fall, and you leave. Is that easy? Where am I? There it is. Oh yeah, we need to get the final soil extraction. I almost forgot about that. This guy. There it is. Now, yeah, go over here. So this is not what you usually do. I just forgot to get the soil extraction tape.
You don't belong here, outsider.
Where is it? It's over here. So it's in this first hole, but I think I only went in here and grabbed the fusion battery. Yeah, I did. It's funny. There we go. So now we can finally go to this boat place, or this place where we actually finish the quest. We input the soil extraction tapes into the terminal, and then we finish it up. Let's take a sip of water real quick. There we go. So here you walk underwater again with time stop. But again, don't use it too much, or you don't use it and walk too far. It's a better way to put it, because your game is gonna crash. See, stuff like this happens. Spawns in a bunch of rubbish. So input the codes, and then access the supplies to finish the quest. Perfect. Go back to Black Hole Manor. And now we're gonna hear the best line in the game.
Shouldn't you be?
Oh, wait, what? Did I not?
Wait a moment.
Did I not grab the book?
Wait a moment.
I don't want to talk to this lady. I'm pretty sure I picked up the book. Might have done some... I might have clicked on the wrong thing. Oh yeah, I pressed this one. Yeah, makes sense. I pressed the button to leave the book alone. What a surprise when you actually don't get the book in that case. But yeah, it's fine. It's not a huge deal. Go back to Black Hole Manor. Enter this place. See, this just shows you what can go wrong.
The book.
That was the line I was talking about. The book. Okay, go to Marguerite's shack. So this is where we're gonna make moonshine. Where you at?
You ain't have the look.
We're gonna tell her that we have all the stuff to make moonshine. Punga fruit, yeast, tonic, everything. Batteries. Yeah. Gonna wait 24 hours because that's how long it takes for her to make moonshine. And then we are gonna leave and finish the DLC. After this, we're gonna immediately start the Pit DLC, which is the 4th DLC of the run. It's also gonna be a pretty short one, but it's I think it's pretty fun. I think it's very interesting.
Good thing, sweet.
Thank you so much. Also here you want to fast travel immediately because otherwise you can't. Also that pop-up right there just saying that Shorty died means that we can actually finish another quest in the Wasteland. But now we're gonna COC and we're gonna kill his brain pal. Like that. Which basically destroys his entire place. And that finishes the last quest and we can leave the DLC. So now we go back to the train tunnel. And we enter the pit immediately because we have already talked to Werner to kind of start the DLC. Also, here is one of the most important manipulations in this entire run. Kill this person. That person is the person that Werner is going to talk to. If you just wait this section out. But if you kill her, you can actually just run past all of this, and Werner will be at the very end. Because you need him at the very end to progress the quest. So having him right there or killing that person right there it just brings everything together. Basically. But yeah, this is the pit. We run across this bridge to enter the actual pit, which is a steel yard hellhole. Everybody works in shit conditions and live. It's just a bad place. You're supposed to go through that gate and get captured and not have any stuff on you, but we can go through this little like that and just enter the door that way. So we have all our stuff now. We're not supposed to have anything, but we do. We're gonna talk to that lady who is gonna give us the unsafe working conditions quest, which is basically to finish the DLC. We have to talk to the main guy and talk him down, Asher. But to do that, we have to earn his loyalty. And to earn his loyalty, we need to go into the arena and fight a bunch of NPCs. But to get in there, we have to get 10 steel ingots. So that's where we're collecting right now. So we clip through the door to get into the steel yard. To collect these steel ingots. And you're not supposed to be here right now. That's why the door was locked. You're supposed to go and talk to someone else. Or go follow that lady and she will give you a key. But doing that is slow. So we can just clip through the door. And collect the ingots right now instead. There we go. We can fast travel and fast travel back to downtown. And now we're actually gonna go enter. So she's gonna tell us, oh, you have to go to the steel mill, and then we can immediately turn in the steel ingots. Yeah.
All right, we can.
So here we are. So someone is gonna enter.
What's going on in here, Medea?
So now we can talk to her again. Good, just in time. So now the main guy, Asher, is gonna hold a speech. But you can skip this speech by clipping into this corner and then clipping back out. So you're past a invisible wall, essentially. And then you just run to the exit here. And then he's gonna say his final line. And we can leave. So now we can finally enter the arena. That we've heard so much about. Here we're gonna punch past this NPC so she doesn't talk to us. Because who wants to talk to a person who's punching like that? Let's be honest.
And what are you doing down
We're gonna talk to Phaedra to sign up for the arena. So now we are gonna go in, quick load, skip a bunch of lines, and then we're gonna kill these hit raiders. And that was really bad. That was still really bad. Okay. There we go. I don't have that much ammo to spare, so I cannot afford to miss that much.
Wow.
Gonna talk to Phaedra again and then tell her that we want to go back. And we're gonna do that once more. Now we're gonna kill some. We're gonna kill these two guys. Where's the other one? Oh, he died. Okay, sometimes they can die to a barrel landing on them, which I think is what happened there. There's supposed to be two of them, Bear Brothers, but there was only one. And then this is the final guy, Gruber. And he died in one shot. And then the announcer's gonna go crazy about Gruber's death. Talk to this guy, and we interact with this footlocker, and that finishes the quest. Perfect. All right. Yeah, I don't. Perks and stuff does not matter anymore. At this point, it's from this point on, it's we basically finished with skills and perks for the most part. So now we finally earned Asher's loyalty, and we can finally go and talk to him. But before we can talk to him, we need to talk to Werner, who is going to be... He's not going to be waiting for us, but we are going to go inside of Haven. That's what this building is called. And we're going to talk to him. We're going to wait for him, sorry. So just go in here. Then turn around and wait for him. There he is.
Ah, you finally made it.
Ah, you finally made it. Use the Black Widow perk on him. That's surprisingly the only time Black Widow perk is used in like a dialogue context. Time stop past this guy so we can talk to Asher immediately.
I knew I could.
So what about my reward? What do I do now? I have to go. Perfect. Because if you go in there immediately, those guys are going to have a conversation. And we don't want them to have that conversation. So that's the pit finished. Really cool DLC, if you ask me. Sad it's all over. Now we are gonna do Trouble on the Home Front, which is a quest that takes place in the vault we actually began this whole adventure in. Vault 101, our home, our place of birth, and all that stuff. The inhabitants of the vault are fed up with the Overseer, and their water chip is broken. And it's on the brink of kind of a civil war. So we are gonna talk the Overseer down and tell him that
What do you want?
that he should side with the rebels and just let them go out into the wasteland, because he does not want them to do that.
You don't be.
So we convinced him, and we are gonna clip out of bounds again, COC, and we're gonna talk to our bestest friend in the world, Amada, and tell her that, yeah, we'll be gone. And we're gonna time stop past Butch because he wants to talk to us.
Get out.
Yeah, sorry, dude. And yeah, now we are gonna run towards the exit again. And then we're gonna fast travel away from here and start a quest called Riley's Rangers. If I had to pick my top two worst, like my least favorite quests in this run, it would probably be Riley's Rangers and what's it called? Waters of Life. I really dislike both of those, but Riley's Rangers is just extra annoying, not by anything in particular, just because it's really long and it's really long-winded. Also, welcome to Out of Bounds again. How can I not make this jump? There it is. Yeah, nice. So yeah, we're just making our way towards a hospital where Riley's Rangers are hanging out. Not hanging out. They're actually stuck, but we are gonna go there and save them. And saving them in this game, which you should have learned by now, is just means killing them, essentially. So we're gonna go out here, discover Chevy Chase. We're gonna come back here to go do the not NCR, what's it called, GNR, the GNR quest. We are gonna go down here into this metro station. I'm gonna check the Quantum, perfect. This is exactly what we were looking for. Wild Punga. Okay, nice. That's really good. That's really, really nice. Having that over and done with. So now we don't have to worry about the Nuka-Cola Quantums anymore. If I didn't find them, there is a place in the run where we just stand and you know, and grind them out. Grind one single vending machine out and reset its spawns until we get it. So it would have been fine, but it's really nice to get it out of the way. So to get into this hospital, we're not going to go through the front entrance. What are you, a normie? We should instead go up these out of bounds rocks and rubble. Go on top of this little edge and then stop, hop, jump over. Then clip out of bounds again to get on top of the cell. Then everything is going to turn invisible. But it's fine, just walk in a straight line and we're good. I don't know where the ambient music went. That's kind of there. Then go over here and make a hard save here because you can fail this one. Ah, damn. Okay, let's try again. Just want to clip inbounds here, essentially. Oh, come on. Let's try that one more time. One more time. There it is. Perfect. Repair the elevator. then go this way and clip out of bounds on this little edge here. This is what I call slice clip because a member by the name of Slice found that clip. And now we are on top of the roof, and we are finally gonna save these poor souls up here.
Hey, you! Get your ass...
But instead of saving them, we are gonna save them from torture of being alive, I guess you can call it. We're gonna kill them. And the quest is still gonna work. It's still gonna work out. We're just gonna say that all Riley's Rangers are dead. And it's gonna want us to go to Riley and tell her what happened to finish the quest. We're very soon gonna end the base game, because if you didn't know, to start Broken Steel, you actually have to finish the game. It takes place a few weeks after the events of the first game, but it still takes place in the Wasteland to some extent. And I think that's what makes the DLC the most interesting to me. It just takes place in a environment that you have been in for a long time, and for the entire time. And yeah, this is Riley's compound, I guess. She is down here.
You look like you've been through it.
Yes, I have been through hell, lady. So we finished the quest with her. You can actually clip out of bounds, or not clip out of bounds, but go back up to the door. Use the door there with third-person interaction again. Fast roll back to Chevy Chase that we were at earlier. And now we are going to talk to one of the best characters in the game, Three Dog, my man, the guy who runs Galaxy News Radio. We are going to talk to him because, of course, he has had a quest for us this entire time. This is probably one of the first quests you should do. It's part of the main story, but because we have gone in such a weird order, we do it now instead, and it's all broken. Like, for example, you're supposed to kill a superhuman behemoth before you can enter the store, but if you just interact with this intercom...
Looks like it's all clear. Unlocking outer doors.
Unlocking the outer doors, just ignore that there's super mutants and stuff out here. So yeah, now we're inside the Galaxy News radio station.
The look on your face says...
And this is Three Dog, my man, with his glasses and outstanding personality, I guess. So we're gonna say, how can I help you, Three Dog? And we're gonna say, yeah, we already have your satellite dish. And he's gonna be like, oh, great, dude. We're gonna clip out of bounds here again on that corner and use that door. There we go. And now we are gonna end the base game. So the ending sequence of the base game is basically an all-out war with the Enclave, between the Brotherhood and the Enclave. So we're gonna go down here, and our tag team of Brotherhood friends are having a meeting. This is the first time we're actually seeing them, but story-wise, this is not the first time. So this is Elder Alliance. He is the leader of the Brotherhood, and his daughter, Sentinel Alliance, is this person here, who is basically gonna lead the troops into battle.
Before we get started,
including us, of course. So we're gonna tell her that we're ready to fight. Gonna keep quick learn to skip a bunch of this, bunch of their speech until Scribe Rothschild stops looking at us, and he's gonna send Liberty Prime into Stratosphere to help us in the fight. So there we finished the American Dream quest. There he goes. Awesome. We have to exit these doors. You can fast travel to the entrance, but that's actually slower because you have to walk close to the exit to get these guys to come out. Because the story and the game is so broken right now, because of the way we have done things. We have to do the ending sequence here very specifically so the game does not break, so we can actually finish the rest of the quests. So we have to enter the Jefferson Memorial, and then we have to leave it to talk to Sentinel Alliance so she doesn't run too far away, and then we go back into the Jefferson Memorial. We talk down Colonel Autumn, and then hopefully Sentinel Alliance will come with us into the Rotunda. If that doesn't happen, we'll just have to load a autosave. Also, by the way, these walls are imaginary, or they're not imaginary, but they're unnecessary because you can just go over here and clip in here. Normally you would have to have Liberty Prime to destroy these walls, but we can just skip all of that. So we go in, we go back out, talk to her so she stays, and then we run all the way to the Rotunda, ignoring these soldiers on the way. Talk to Colonel Autumn. Oh, flip. Okay. Messed up the timing there, or messed up the dialogue there. You're supposed to tell him to give up, not to fight him. There we go. Give it up, Autumn. You lost. Pass the speed checks, and Sentinel Alliance should be behind us. Yeah, perfect.
Concentrate your fire. You're just going to let him leave?
Hello,
Dr. Lee, it's Sarah
Hello,
Lyons.
is anyone
I'm in the
there?
control room.
And then you push her inside of the
Well, so much.
inside the purifier, and then you tell her that, yeah, I'll activate the purifier, which is suicide pretty much, but we sacrifice ourselves for the greater good. So that is the ending of the game, basically. But we're not finished with the run just yet. Not just yet. We have more base game quests we have to finish, and we have yeah, the DLC, of course. Also, this cutscene right here would be an awesome time for donations to be read. This cutscene is very long, but I would also advise you to turn the volume down because I have to do it manually because this cutscene is very loud. You'll see. I'll turn it down.
And so it was that the lone wanderer ventured forth from Vault 101.
The cutscene here is really loud, so I guess if you're doing this on stage, you have to turn the volume down and then turn it back up when we get back into the game. But yeah, you can actually skip this cutscene. Fun fact: if you play in full screen and you Alt Tab and go back in, the cutscene is skipped. However, it's not allowed in speedruns, so that's why we don't use it. And I would be against it because I always run in windowed mode. I'm a windowed mode baby. So yeah, this is the ending of the game, and then we are gonna start doing. We're not gonna start doing the main story of Broken Steel, but instead we are gonna do the side quests all around it and finish up some of the what's it called? Some of the side quests that are left from the base game. It's not that many of them, but there are still a few. Like for example the GNR quest, and also a quest inside of the Museum of History, which we didn't even go into. We discovered it, but we didn't go into it yet. That's because it's very interesting. If you finish that quest by dropping a piece of armor on the ground and then picking it up, and that finishes the quest for some reason. You'll see. But it's very unique. We don't use that trick for any other quest in the game. But we use it for this one. Okay. We are back. So now we're gonna wake up 3 weeks later, I think? 2 weeks later. And a lot has happened. They're gonna tell us that the Enclave has moved out of DC, which is great. And which, by the way, we're gonna go out and we're gonna see that that's not true, but in spirit, they're not here anymore. So this is well, yeah, Elder Lions. He's gonna tell us, give us a small recap, and now we are gonna go down into the basement again. I went past the. Yeah, it's right here. To talk to Scribe Rothschild, who is basically the head scribe in this place. And he's going to give us a bit of a briefing.
Well, it's good.
So we quick load 12 times here. To skip all of his lines.
If there's anything else.
And then we can leave. So the first quest that the first two quests we're gonna do is a quest called the Waterway, and a quest involving the cult. So the Jefferson Memorial has now turned into kind of a base of operations. You see, there's kind of a mess everywhere, and there's scribes and stuff. And this guy is really mad at his job, I guess, and he wants us to look into cult. In Megaton, and he wants us to look into people stealing water from the Brotherhood. So we are gonna start the water stealing quest by going to Rivet City and talking to this person.
If you're looking for water.
Who's gonna tell us about what's going on, and then we're gonna fast travel back up to Megaton to deal with the cult. This is by far the easiest quest out of the two, because to deal with the cult you just have to kill their leader and leave. So they have hunkered down in a basement in Springvale. This place, and this guy has the key.
Children of the light, hear
So
my words.
just kill her. That's the leader, and then we go back to the Citadel. So as you can see, the war between the Enclave and the Brotherhood is still going on, even though they said that it was over. Which I think is really funny, but this is just a consequence of the way we have broken the game. So yeah. We have to drop down from this bridge to collect a holotape, but you can't. If you do that, you can't fast travel because of these two guys. So we should just dispose of them like that. And then down here is everybody dead. Let's see. This person has a holotape. Can use that to listen to the people that has stolen the water, and they are meeting up right here, and we are just gonna kill him and his gang. Jesus, there we go. Split Jack was his name, and we're gonna go back to Rivet City to talk to the officer again and tell her that she won't be having any water problems. There we go, and we go back to Jefferson Memorial to talk to the scribe and turn in 2 quests. Then we're gonna fast travel to the Washington Memorial and install the Virgo dish that we picked up so long ago now. And I also... way too much here, so I'm just gonna drop a bunch of stuff. Yeah, we're gonna place the Virgo dish, and then we're gonna start a quest called Aqua Pura, which is a side quest for this DLC, the Broken Steel DLC. Aqua Pura basically involves this guy who sells irradiated water, which he passes off as real purified water. But it's all fake, and we are to finish the quest. We are basically gonna join his scheme. We're gonna join. We're gonna get a cut of his earnings, so we don't rat him out. Essentially, As I've said, we are not a nice person in this DLC, not in the slightest. We do basically anything just if it's fast. So we're gonna start this quest. It's actually called Aqua Cura, and this thing he's selling is Aqua Pura. But you know, details. And that quest also takes place in the the History Museum, Museum of History, which is also a place where another quest is taking place. That you'll see was the quirky way we finished a quest by dropping in armor and stuff. You'll see. But yeah, we're just gonna collect the instructions that are left here on this holotape. Fast travel to the History Museum. So here is the guy selling stuff to unknowing people. We're gonna get a cut of his deal and we're gonna leave. So up here is a guy, and this guy wants us to go around the Wasteland, and Mr. Crowley, he wants us to go around the Wasteland and kill 3 people and collect their special keys. And we're gonna tell him, yes, sure man, we're gonna do that. But instead of doing that, we are just gonna drop a piece of armor and we're gonna pick it up, and that finishes the quest. The theory on why that works is because the reward for you completing that quest has the same form ID, like a technical ID used for developers, as the winterized power armor for from the Broken Steel DLC. Oh no, Operation Anchorage DLC. Sorry. So if you pick up the armor, he thinks that you stole his reward, and that for some reason completes the quest. We actually don't really know, but what we do know is that it's really fast and it's really interesting. So we'll tell 3-Dot here that we finished installing his Virgo dish, and he is very happy about that. And now we are gonna fast travel to Girdershade to finish that's not Girdershade. Here's Girdershade. To finish the Nuka-Cola challenge.
Sierra Petrova does this.
Oh shit. The wrong dialogue.
Sierra Petrova does.
She wants to give a tour of her memorabilia and stuff, but we don't care about that. We just want to say, here's all the Nuka-Cola I'm carrying. And that finishes the quest. Now we're gonna go to Paradise Falls.
Susan thought she could just
to finish another quest. I think that's Strictly Business. Yeah, completed Strictly Business. And in Paradise Falls, we are gonna get the final bobblehead, but also finish a quest here that involves slave kids. But we're actually gonna do a good thing here. We are gonna free the kids and let them be free. And we're gonna technically adopt them, so we're gonna technically be a mother of like 5 children. Which is pretty interesting, but it's also for a good deed, right? Talk about the kids, talk price, yeah. So we now have bought the kids, and we're now gonna talk to them and say that we are here to rescue you.
What the hell, Wadey?
Yeah, hi Sammy.
Pardon me.
So just talk to them again.
Not bad, monk.
And finish the quest. And now we are finally gonna do the actual story of this DLC, which basically involves us taking out the remnants of the Enclave. So here is Paladin Tristan, who's gonna help us, and beyond this door is a huge firefight between some soldiers and stuff, and Liberty Prime is here. But if you stand in this corner, you can actually wait a couple times to move Liberty Prime. along. So he's right there, and wait for him to stomp, and then wait again. This is also pretty precise. I'm gonna listen here for a bit. Listen for some lines and skip them. Communist. So you gotta wait a couple times. You quick say quick load a couple times. Is that it? There it is. Yeah. So that's basically as much as you can skip. Him punching that hole in the wall, and well, there's a lot of soldiers here actually. So sadly we're gonna see Liberty Prime go. Goodbye, buddy. Yeah, it's very sad, but it's it took one for the team, right? So now we enter this satellite facility, and we need to get some reports for Scribe Rothschild. So we're just gonna run past all of the people here and try not to die. Using time stop along the way here makes things pretty awkward because it's so quiet. But it is for a marathon setting, and we don't want to die. Use time stop here again. And also, if you use time stop here a couple times, you walk past a lot of spawns for these Enclave soldiers. So up here there should be... Oh, okay, they actually spawned in. Sometimes they do not spawn in. Also, here is the report that we need. Request the data. Perfect. Deliver data to Scribe Rothschild. Now here, sometimes you can fast travel immediately, sometimes you can't. Couldn't this time. That's because there is a... Yeah. If that little Rand Scorpion is too close, then you can't fast travel. It is what it is, but it's not the biggest deal. So now we are going to turn that in to Scribe Rothschild, and we're also going to talk to the Elder Alliance, who says that we have to now report to Paladin Tristan. And this is also pretty good RNG. They're standing next to each other here. Sometimes they're more spread out.
I trust you've spoken with...
Like that. So we finish Death from Above. And now we go speak to Paladin Tristan. And Paladin Tristan is going to tell us that we have to go to Old Only. Remember Old Only?
Nice work.
And why do we go there? It's because inside there is a facility that hosts has a Tesla coil that the Brotherhood need for something. I don't know what it is, but I do know that that we need to get it, you know. So you enter the sewers back here, and you hold backwards, and you say quick load to clip out of bounds, and then you can kill this Deathclaw. Told you this weapon could one-shot a Deathclaw. Then you go up these stairs, and then you want to kill this guy because he wants to talk to you. And you want to clip out of bounds to get placed further in. Then you want to go down these steps and clip him out of bounds again. And then run along the top here. Across this way. Jump. Nice. And then up here is the door you want to use. There it is. So this whole place is basically taking place in the Wasteland, but it wasn't accessible for us until after the game, so that's why we didn't do it immediately. Might be a way to clip inside in some capacity. Who knows? So yeah, we COC again. We hit the switch to open this door, and then we grab the Tesla coil with our hands. An electric ball for just because we can. We have enough health anyways, like who cares? That's pretty good. And now we are gonna actually get the final quest in this run. We're almost at the end, I promise you.
You found?
Yes, I found the Tesla coil. So now it's finally time to do the assault on the huge base that the Enclave is holding down. And to get there, we have to first fast travel to the National Archives, which I just did, and enter the metro down here. Then you gotta clip out of bounds. Clip out of there we go. And you exit immediately. And then right here, there's a bunch of super mutants around the corner here with missile launchers, but you can just shoot this bus to kill them all. For safety. We're a little short on ammo, but we should be fine. There's only, I think, 2 more NPCs that we need to kill. So I think we're good. Enter the sewers here. And I missed the door. So basically, to get to this Enclave base, this Enclave holdout, we need to take a train there. So, and to, yeah. So down here is the actual train tunnel. If I can actually, there we go. Yeah. So this is basically where the train runs along. And as usual in these out of bounds sections, we run on top of the cell instead of actually being in bounds, because being out of bounds is cooler. Get you sitting around the cool kids table. We're gonna access this door over here. It's a locked door, so we're gonna have to force lockpick it. And then it's just the final stretch to the got that first try to the what's it called, to the base, to the train. And the train ride is actually pretty interesting. You'll see how it looks, but it's essentially you having a helmet on your head instead of you being in an actual train. So you can use that by going into third person. So this right here is actually a helmet that you're wearing, and they just kind of push you through the train tracks right like this. I don't know exactly how to show it, but there is a way you can show it by going into like free cam mode. So yeah, now we are back in person without that helmet on, and we are at the Enclave base, Adams Air Force Base. That's actually what it's called. And in this section, we're also gonna do a newer strat that, and again, by newer I mean it's like a year old. This is what we usually do. We clip out of bounds here to get a more straight line to where we're going. And where we're going is the final, I guess, place you go in this quest. The Enclave Crawler. Now, normally you would have to go to a radio tower or a tower somewhere to activate a switch that pulls out some stairs that you can use to get onto the little ledge where the door is to enter the crawler. But a couple years ago, it was found that you can use an item to jump on top of and then reach the door from below. And a year ago, Hydrosonics found that you can use Time Stop right here and walk through this wall right here. And if you jump and exit, you can actually walk around here. And now you're inside and you can access this door, which is very neat. I actually really like that trick. It's way better than the old way, because the old way was really inconsistent with jumping on top of items and stuff, which is really inconsistent because of how physics work in this game. But inside the crawler now, we are gonna kill this person to get a keycard. And exit to the top here, and then clip through this way. And also, by the way, if you are not convinced that we are an actual bad person, this final deed we're gonna do is gonna probably cement that into the worst pages in the history book. The fastest way to finish this run is to redirect. Oh, okay, the game crashed. That's very interesting. I haven't had the game crash there before, but we're gonna have this place destroy the Citadel, which is the base of operations for the Brotherhood, which are basically our friends. It's a very mean thing to do, but it makes it so this cutscene is the shortest. Also, the game crashing there means I don't have speed cripple active anymore. So it's this cutscene is the one I'm talking about. This one is the shortest if you blow up the Citadel. But yeah, we don't have speed cripple anymore, but it doesn't matter because the run is almost done.
Let me try this. Citadel Control, come in. This is Pride 1. Citadel Control.
But yeah, it's a very mean thing to do. It's a very mean speedrun, but it's a very fun speedrun, and I hope that for the GDQ staff watching, or for anybody watching, that you have enjoyed this, and I hope to see you guys in Pittsburgh in January. We're coming up on the end of the run. The final time will be when we place the bobbleheads on the bobblehead stand in our home in Megaton. So there we finished the final quest. Who dares wins. So we're gonna enter, and time is right there. Oh, yeah. Right there. So, I think that's it. 20 bobbleheads. Do we have all quests completed? I think so. Yeah. 58 quests completed. 20 bobbleheads collected. And, yeah. Again, I hope you enjoyed this run. I hope to be seeing you guys at Pittsburgh at the AGDQ, and I hope you have enjoyed. Have a good rest of your day. Bye bye.